have yet to drop a frame tonight. So hooray for that, but unfortunately, I guess for us, it's not helping everybody. So we'll jump into the game and introduce our players. Spawning in the top right-hand corner, representing Legion of Boom, trying to take down the man who has just won 2 games in a row for ConFed and brought them back on top in this best-of-9 all-kill style clan war. It is the red Zerg player, Sonny. And in the top left-hand corner, representing the Confederation, the blue Terran player, Solace. So, Altrazim Stronghold is a map that, I mean, I personally am not a fan of playing on, but I am not playing in this game, so I guess that's fortunate for me. But you'll see a lot of Zerg players recently, they take this base, which used to be the third base, as their natural, and then they take a quick third back here. So they basically, the way this map is designed for some of the newer players out there is your natural is tucked behind your main, or a base is tucked behind your main. Whether you make it your natural or not, I guess, is your choice. And you can, you know, there's no way to get in there by ground except going up the main ramp and then in. So, so what a lot of Zerg players have been doing is that it's also kind of difficult to defend your third out here, because of, you know, you kind of want to defend the ramp on the high ground, and then if you come down here, you can get run-bys and stuff. So a lot of players establish the second base earlier and then take this third base. Sonny not opting for that, and well, Solace is going 12-12 here, so he will be getting out Reapers, and he will be scouting his opponent first here. So he will have a very good idea of where he is. Those Reapers will go right for his base, Sonny's base, and we'll be off to the races. We'll see if that fast expand does come down here as the second Reaper does get queued, or the first Reaper gets queued up. Excuse me, I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, but yeah, I'm just reading the chat for a moment. Hope everyone is enjoying. Call your friends, guys. Invite them in here. And we will. I'm gonna be a little anal for a moment. Just move that over. There we go. Okay, cool. And we're back. The spawning pool finishes up for Sonny. He's got an Overlord pretty much primed to go in and see what his opponent is doing. The first Reaper is out on the map. Did he miss the scout on his opponent? Yeah, he scouted cross first. So, and then a little bit of an interesting decision here. He scouts with the Reaper and the SCV to the same position. So this Reaper is actually going to be very delayed getting in. But these Reapers, you know, if they get kills, it's kind of a nice prize as far as, you know, your expectation of the unit. But you really build these Reapers to get a decent scout off, to establish some sort of map control and keep your Zerg opponent off the map with his Lings, because you can kite them pretty much forever until they get speed, which is, well, 90 seconds away from finishing. And you can also deny creep and make life difficult for a Zerg that tries to take this third base. So he'll come forward, he'll see no third base as he flies under an Overlord. And, well, he's in the main base now, and there's a couple Lings on the field, a couple in production as well. And these Reapers, again, they're just going to poke away. They're not going to try and do too much. They don't want to get caught. If you lose these Reapers, that's going to be, well, the price to pay. One of them may fall. It's going to be really, really close. He is going to get out just barely. And it looks like he has made 3 Reapers before the factory, followed by the reactor here. And is there a third command center coming down? There should be one in just a moment as the natural is finishing up. And, yeah, we should get ourselves into a nice little macro game if... Yep, the Zerg player is taking a third base, which he is. And these Reapers, you know, this is an interesting decision to send them all the way back home. He could have put them down at the bottom of this ramp and really been a nuisance denying this third base, because there's no creep connecting, and there's nothing but slow links here. So he could have sat kind of right in this position and really made it difficult for the Zerg to take this third base, which is kind of what I was talking about, why Zerg players take that initially and then just put their third base down here. So, you know, maybe a slight missed opportunity here for Solace, but it's nothing that will really, you know, hugely affect this game. This Overlord's going to come in and get a great scout off. The nice thing for Zerg players about what Terrans have been doing a lot recently is, well, they don't build anything that shoots up for a while, because Zerg can't build anything that's in the air for a while. So what ends up happening is these Overlords suddenly can get really pretty much free reign on the Terran base and just literally sit here and see everything. So he's going to see the the Reapers. He's going to see the Hellions. He sees the Tech Lab finishing. A Viking is going to come out, and that will shoo away this Overlord. But after the Viking, we'll almost certainly see... well, we might see a Banshee, actually. Now he's getting the Marauders. This is a very similar build to what Polt does. Polt gets the Viking out and Marauders to help him defend against any sort of Roach play. The Roach Warren is going down. It looks like it's going to be more for defensive purposes as 1-1 is starting, and it's the melee upgrades for 1-1. So those won't be benefiting the Roaches, as English eludes me for a moment. Well, those Lings not long for this world as the Hellions and Reapers come down to greet them. One Marauder staying back home to defend. He's saying, guys, go, I got this. I got this, guys. The Viking ends up picking off that Overlord, and it'll start trekking across the map to, well, find some more. This Ling will spot for the third base. It's a nice touch there from Sonny. And this third base, though, this is what I was talking about as far as the difficulty in defending it. There are 16 Lings coming out here, but tell me what 16 Lings are going to do against 3 Reapers and 6 Hellions. The answer, well, is not very much. The Hellions and the Reapers are going to sit down here and just pick away at this hatchery. If they don't kill it, they will get it down nice and low. And now this Queen, like, what can the Queen do here? The Queen can't do anything. There are 7 Roaches in the production tab, 2 of which will be spawning on the low ground if the eggs do survive. And, well, if nothing else, this presents an opportunity later on in the game for Solace to come in and to do some damage and take down this third hatchery. He's already gotten down a third of its hit points, which could play a factor later on in the game. So we'll have to see if he's able to take advantage of that. Just now, though, taking his own third base. So delaying the fast third for double upgrades, delaying it for some Banshee aggression as well. And while this Cloak Banshee comes in, it's going to pick off this Queen almost certainly. The Hellions will come in with the Reapers to basically solidify the position, and suddenly this third base is really looking dire as far as saving it here. These Hellions could get surrounded by these Lings if he's not paying attention, but the Banshee's actually going to start picking it off, and suddenly this hatchery is down 2/3 of its health. Only 500 hit points and change remaining on this... Oh, and we've got Drilling Claws researching here. So, yeah, only 500 hit points remaining on this hatch. And is this Banshee going to just try and kill it off here? The Banshee's a little bit misrallied. And, well, with those Lings running away, the Banshee will be microed back. And it's going to get a couple of drone kills, it should, before that spawning Spore Crawler does come down. And, well, now it's going to cloak and work on these Roaches. So just being a real nuisance out on the map is Solace, making it really difficult for Sonny to establish map control. And this is kind of what I was talking about with this third base being difficult to hold. Maybe Sonny will rethink taking that earlier, but I don't know if it would have really helped him. A couple Spine Crawlers could obviously do wonders here, but not against the Banshee. The Spore Crawler is trying to cover as much ground as it can, but it can't really cover everything. Can't cover everything with one Spore Crawler. The Banshee's going to go into the main here where there's a Spine and a Spore. 2 Spores, one burrowing as we speak, and the second one just starting to as well. On the other side, the Banshee, though, well controlled, is going to clean that up, or head on out, I should say. The Scan catches the Spire and the Infestation Pits starting, sees that Roach speed is being researched as well, and suddenly he may be expecting a pretty nasty push coming in, as it looks like Roaches seem to be the tech path of choice suddenly after +1 attacks on melee units for the Zerg player. He switches over to range and gets Roach speed. So it seems like Sonny feels like he's up against the wall. He's in a pretty big supply deficit. He's only at 52 drones to 65 SCVs, and it seems like Solace is suddenly well in control of this game. He's got 2-2 starting on his own, and I don't think a push will be coming out from the Zerg player until that's even really pretty close. The Spire is just finishing, and turrets already up in the mineral lines here, and even a couple on the outsides as well. So the army is going to start trekking across the map here for Solace. And he's going to, well, what is he going to be dealing with here? He's got 2 Banshees, 7 Hellions, a Siege Tank, 3 Marauders, and 11 Marines. A little bit of everything. And even back home, he's got some Marines and a Siege Tank. They're not going to be able to defend this Ling run-by, which is actually a pretty nice little touch here. But what in the world is there going to be to defend this army that's coming in here for Solace? He comes in, picks off 1 Queen, the 2nd Queen falls, the 3rd Queen sure to fall as well. This base is going to be sacrificed. This Ling run-by is going to do a little bit of damage, but these rallying Marines should be able to kill it off. The Hellbats do get switched in, the upgrade being utilized, or the buff I should say, being utilized by Solace, and suddenly this army a little bit more immobile, but has a lot more punch to it. Total workers killed is 8-7, pretty much even now in that regard. The worker count pretty much even as well, and it's a huge supply lead for Solace. The scan goes down. What does he catch? I don't know what he... Oh, he scans for this 4th base. Okay, and he does see it's just started there. It just finished up, and, well, he knows that his opponent's on 3 bases now. All these drones can't really do anything. They can try to go to this base, but again, this base is really hard to keep. There's no creep connecting. There's a pretty big distance here to traverse without creep, where Solace can take a pretty decent fight. He's got siege tanks coming out, Thors coming out as well. We're starting to see that biomech style start to be more popular now for Terran players, as they really feel that, as they get those upgrades for both mech and bio, and as they get a couple extra factories maybe than they normally would, suddenly they can build an army that pretty much counters their opponent's army. And oh, we've got some Hellbat drops coming in here, and some Hellbats that wanted to join the party that just, well, there wasn't room for them. You guys are too big. You got to go on Weight Watchers if you want to get in. So, well, this Hellbat drop will be pretty much shut down, it seems. Both medevacs do go down, but these Hellbats could do a lot of damage before they fall. It looks like they will be, and not only will they be doing damage, but they'll be pulling the entire Zerg army back as the Terran army pushes forward and once again kills off this 3rd base, and we'll be killing off the 4th base here with this drop that's going to stim forward in just a moment, sieging down the low ground here, Marines and Hellbats. And again, this drop coming in, the Lings are cleaning up the Marines out here, but another base is going to fall, and the drones could fall, a lot of them as well here. Solace again in complete control of this game. 157, now 160 supply, 288. Oh, the Ultra Rush coming out here, and that's just not going to be, well, quite honestly, enough here to try and get him back in this game. You can't produce enough Ultras off of 2 bases in order to really fluster a Terran army. And you'll say, oh, well, he cleaned up the Terran army. It's like, yeah, but this is what's waiting at home. So Solace just rallying back home. He's not rallying up to his army. He's just rallying back home as another base desperately trying to be taken here by Sonny. He's fighting valiantly here, but Solace is doing a wonderful job in this game, pretty much just taking every advantage that he can find. Some SCVs being pulled off to repair these Thors, to repair the siege tanks, I guess, if they need to, but primarily for the Thors. It just makes them so much stronger. And, well, pretty cool upgrade or little visual on these Ultras, but I don't think it makes them better. They just look cooler. So, we'll have to see how in the world Sonny plans on defending this. It's pretty much a maxed out Terran army, 2-2 upgrades on the bio, and even, well, 1-0 upgrades on the mech, and they come forward. The Ultras stream in, the Lings stream in as well. They get very quickly melted. Here the bailing shots are not great, and these Ultras are sent running for the hills. There are no hills to run to, however, and they get focused down very quickly here. Nothing but Roaches and Queens left. The Marines stim forward, stutter step micro, and Sonny calls GG. Solace taking game number 4 here and giving ConFed a 3-1 lead here. Very well